I built the system that takes every single client call that I take and turns that call into automated tasks for my team, organized notes, and an intelligence database that gets smarter every single call. It tracks what my clients are worried about, the pains they express, what they want, and the trends that keep coming up within conversations. And the best part is it feeds all that back into my marketing, messaging, and client delivery systems. So let's dive in and show you exactly how this system works and how you can build the same. You see, before building this system, I was doing what everybody else does. Get off a client call, spend the next 15 to 30 minutes debriefing from that call, making note of the tasks that came up on the call, what I need to pass to my team, what I need to come back to later. And half the time, stuff would slip through the cracks, I'd miss it jumping to my next meeting. And overall, it was an overwhelming, tedious process that required too much input from me after getting off a call. But not only that, I was sitting on 2 years of client calls and transcripts that were essentially collecting dust and not being put to use in any way. This is super valuable data that really the only thing I was using it for was referring back to what was said on my last client meeting, to give myself context going into the next call. I wasn't using the data to benefit my business in any other way. Every single call had insights in it, pains my clients were expressing, aspirations they wanted, patterns throughout the call that maybe I was too busy to notice in the moment, and I was letting all that flow into my Google Drive and putting it to no use. So I thought, what if I could build a system that takes every call transcription that I have and converts that into AI to create distilled notes, a list of pains, a list of outcomes that they want, all while preparing all the tasks that need to be delegated to my team that came up in the call. So in one click, I can get off the meeting, delegate those tasks, and move on to my next meeting or next action step. And actually use that data to dial in the messaging for my clients and my agency. And the really cool thing about this is it actually splits it into those two buckets. So it's reading the call transcription, deciding based on what came up in that call, what insights or information is going to benefit my agency's messaging, and my agency's marketing, and what insight came up on the call that was specific to that client or their brand that's more relevant to their messaging and their marketing. Essentially making it so every single call that I take, it's feeding a system that becomes smarter and smarter. So now we're gonna get into how this system works end to end, what tools I utilize to make this system work, and how you can build the same. So here's a behind the scenes look at the entire system from top to bottom. Starting from the top here, you're gonna see that initial trigger in the starting step that fires this system is Google Drive. Now the reason this is because I use a tool called Scribble. Scribble is what transcribes all of my meetings, specifically for Google Meet. So whenever I'm done taking a Google meeting, that Scribble transcription is automatically being pushed into one folder in my Google Drive. This is how it always was before I built the system, so whenever I wanted to refer back to a previous client call or meeting notes, I'd have to go into that Drive folder, search for the client name, find the date of the meeting, and then look up the notes. That alone took too much time. Now, the moment that a call transcript is moved into Drive, that is then feeding the Claude API system that I set up to extract a summary of the call, the pains that came up in the call, tasks, language mentioned, and marketing intel, to then break it into the variety of 5 buckets from there that we're going to go over next. Bucket number 1 is the Notion calls database. This is a database that I set up in Notion. Notion is what I use to manage my agency and manage my clients. Now, within this Notion calls database, what happens is it's taking that enriched data from the meeting transcript and converting it into a record in the calls database to attach it to my client's record. So now I can actually go pull up whatever client that I'm looking to reference, and I can see in one click all the previous calls that took place with them without sifting through all the other transcripts. So this first step alone is super nice in just organizing the transcripts and assigning them to the correct client. The second step is where we're taking this enriched data and converting it into intel to better improve our marketing and messaging for our agency. This is where I'm getting insights on pains, fears, aspirations, and the frequency of how much those things came up on the call. From there, it allows me to be able to analyze and see where are the trends within these pains or aspirations mentioned across all of our client meetings. And lastly, the third database that is moving this data into is the task database. In this step, after the data is enriched and segmented between client and agency, from there it's also extracting the tasks that came up on that meeting. And the best part is it's compiling those tasks into a list that in one click I can pick and choose which of those tasks I actually want to assign, delegate to my team, which team member they should be assigned to, when they're due. And I also have the option to attach a loom to the task or even auto-generate a task description or instructions as to how my team member can complete the task with AI. This is crazy powerful, saves me a ton of time post meetings. It makes it really easy for me to get this work off my plate into the hands of the assigned team member to take care of it. In step 4, this is where I'm getting a daily pulse post meeting. So whenever a call transcript is done, the data is processed, I'm then getting a Slack notification, just like you see on screen right here. So when that Slack notification comes through, it's giving me a summary of the relationship signal and how engaged that client was, pains that were detected on the call, their language, key takeaways, and the extracted tasks. And you can see from here, I have the option to open this record directly in Notion, or I can click Review and Improve Tasks, which takes me to a page where from here, I can see that detailed recap, more in depth of the pains, the language, the key takeaways, and the and specifically be able to see what were the tasks that came up from this meeting, what needs to be assigned to who, what data they do. If I want to attach instructions or a Loom video to the task, I can here, and in one click I can approve, and these tasks are immediately pushed into my Notion database and assigned to my team. And lastly is the data process for every client call that I take going forward. It's also adding context to improve the Claude skills that I have set up for each of my clients, along with my agency, so when my team goes to prepare their next campaign, the output of the content generated is much more dialed in and aligned based on the conversations that we've had over time, because the system is continually learning, improving, and dialing in after every call that I take. So I wanted to share this system here with you guys today to give you inspiration as to what maybe you could create yourself for your own agency or your own business to save yourself time, to dial in the takeaways and insights that you're gathering from the data that you may already have or are sitting on, and to build a system that continues to work for you day after day, month after month, year after year going forward. If there's one thing you take away from this video, hopefully it's realizing that most businesses are sitting on a gold mine of data that they're not even utilizing. Oftentimes we have all this valuable data that we're letting sit and collect dust, and it's thinking differently about how can we use that to better improve what we're doing on a daily basis in our business and to make the work that we're doing less repetitive, less tedious, and convert it into a system that runs for us each and every day. I built this in a weekend, and it keeps getting smarter every single client call that I take. Build the system, track the progress, watch the patterns, and you'll be amazed at how much this not only simplifies your daily workflow in your business, but also provides you with super valuable insights that you didn't even know were in front of you otherwise. With that aside, if you got value from this video and what we went over, be sure to hit that thumbs up button before you head out. And if you like watching videos like these and learning how to use AI to advance your business and build systems that continue to work for you day after day, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go, and I look forward to seeing you back on the next video very soon.